happy Easter.
Oh, look at that.
I hope it's one you like.
My wife loves these. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, I'm glad I got one your wife liked.
Yeah. I might share a little bit with you, so thank you.
Oh, that's very kind of you.
Easter Sunday. So we've been on this kind of journey, haven't we, over the last few days, looking at the events of the Thursday, the Friday, the Saturday, and now the Sunday. And we've looked at kind of that sense of betrayal, haven't we, and the hurt that Jesus kind of experienced on the Thursday. And then there was
the anxiety as well, the stress that he was under.
Yeah. And then on the Friday, of course, we looked at the pain and the suffering that he endured. And then yesterday it was great just to actually understand a little bit more of why and what the outcome of that kind of it is finished.
Because it's often been a bit what's finished, so it's great to consider. But it's Sunday today, and we can eat chocolate. but better still, what stands out to you then, I suppose, when we think about the events of that first Easter Sunday? What stood out to you?
So I kind of observed that the disciples, his friends, who Jesus had told all the way along what was going to happen, he was going to be taken, he was going to be killed, and he would rise again. When he's risen, they still don't get it. They're shocked, and there's fear, and there's surprise. They can't quite work it out, And in amongst that confusion, we see Jesus reaching out to a couple of people in particular, don't we?
Yeah, I suppose it stood out to me. So they all ran to the grave, didn't they? Because this was their beloved Jesus, and they were devastating. I think of Mary who went there because she wanted to wrap up his body and make sure that he left this earth well. He wasn't there. There was these angels there, and there was that probably a loss all over again, wasn't it? She'd lost him on the cross, and now she'd lost his body as well. But I love that he, dare I say it, appeared as a gardener.
I think you could say that, yes.
But he appeared as a gardener, didn't he? And he got that she needed to see him. She needed to reach out and touch him and see that indeed he had risen again. And I just love that he knew what she needed in that moment. He came close to her.
Strikes me that, just we were talking yesterday about the fact that, God wants us to have this close relationship, this kind of walking and talking. And, it just strikes me that if you're listening to God, good news is never far away. It might look like the whole world is falling apart, but he's got good news. That's his speciality. In fact, that's what the word for gospel is, isn't it? It means good news. He's the ultimate good news man. And Peter was the other one that I know that Mary stood out to you, and that makes sense. But I can always relate to Peter because he was always getting it wrong, and that's my speciality.
I can see why you relate to that.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Only kidding.
So, and just before Jesus was crucified, Peter famously let him down before the cockerel crowed. There's that moment when Peter caught the eye of Jesus across the courtyard as Peter realizes that he's let him down, and Jesus goes away to get crucified. And that was the parting memory for Peter, wasn't it? That he let his Lord down. And so the angel said, look, bring the disciples and Peter to meet Jesus. And I love the fact that Jesus had kind of said, look, I need to kind of sort stuff out with Peter. He wants to, and he restored that relationship beautifully on the beach barbecue there, didn't he? And I think that just speaks to me of the quality of the friendship that we have with Jesus.
Yeah, don't you just love that even though Peter had, just disowned him.
Yeah.
Actually, he wanted to put it right with Peter. He didn't want to leave that broken relationship. Okay, so what was the significance, though, I suppose, of him rising again? Because he had come and he paid the price, didn't he? He'd sort of paid the price for it, but why did he need to rise again? And I suppose for me, it's that reminder that he said he was going to, and he did. So, hey, I can trust him.
Absolutely, absolutely. What he says, he does, and the other thing that strikes me about this, is that there were completely new beginnings. This kind of broke the mold. This had never happened before, and it's like no matter what's happened in the past, and I guess to some measure, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday have sorted out the past, but now with Easter, there's a new beginning, isn't there? There's always a fresh start because of the resurrection,
which of course we can celebrate by eating chocolate eggs to celebrate that sort of fresh
what it's all about anyway,
isn't it? Absolutely. I love the fact though that, as you say, in our lives the past is kind of dealt with, and we can approach life with a fresh start. So hey Rod, it's been great, hasn't it, looking actually at how Jesus felt
Yes.
through all of this, and actually how he can relate to us.
Absolutely.
Coming up in Gateway in the next couple of weeks, actually, we want to start looking at some different things that are going on in the world.
Right.
And see how God feels, how Jesus feels towards those situations. And we'd love to have that conversation, and we'd love anyone who fancies to come along and join us.
I remember us when we first started out, on this church journey, we had this thing, was it real life, real people, real God, and I guess what you're describing is that having looked at this this very real experience that is absolutely relevant to our 21st century living, we can work out what the practicalities are and all the challenges that we face. This is more than a fairy tale. This is real life, isn't it?
Yeah, it's been great chatting, Rog. Have a great Easter. Enjoy the egg.
And you. Thank you.
Cheers, Rog. Bye.
Bye.
That was amazing.